Hello, I'm Jake Moyes and this is the first ever episode of the Grand Theft Auto Tour. Over the next 12 weeks I will be recreating the magnificent Grand Tour episodes in the home of GTA, and you can see behind me is our motorhome. So instead of going round the map in a massive tent, we've got a caravan, and the caravan I chose is this. The Journey. It's got everything you need. It's got an inside cooker. It's got a pornography poster on the side. So, what more could you want? Coming up in this week's episode of the Grand Tour, we have got the Holy Trinity. I'm going to be testing and smashing around some 3 fantastic cars of GTA, and of course, we meet our brand new track and our brand new racing driver. So, let's head down to somewhere to test these magnificent cars. The location I've chosen is here at the International Airport down in the south of Los Santos. And the first of 3 cars I am going to be testing today is here, the Comet, based on the Porsche 911 from real life. It is a 2-wheel drive car with a nice spoiler on the back, and this one is orange. It's worth $100,000 from Southern San Andreas, but if you want the newer version of the car, it's £650,000 from Benny's. It is a magnificent car, rear-engined like a normal Porsche 911, and tail-happy like a normal Porsche 11. I chose this car because in the Grand Tour of the Holy Trinity, Richard had a Porsche, and this is the only sporty Porsche in the game. So, let's take it for a tail-happy spin. 0 to 60 is rather fast in this car, but not as quick as many other cars. The top speed, however, isn't as quick as many other cars as well because of its basic sports coupe. It is not an actual supercar like the others, but that doesn't mean it isn't as much fun. Round the airport there's many tight corners and many drifting spaces, as we can see here. No, we can't, because I can't drift for toffee. Off-roading, a bit skiddy like that, but I meant to do that, you see. Rear-wheel drive, as I've said. 2 air things, vents in the side doors. Tyres standard. Everything on this car at the minute is standard. It's an amazing car. Twin exhaust at the back. The interior now looking rather nice, as always, because you can't test a car without the interior. Many sports cars and supercars on GTA are fairly expensive, that comes with the DLC packs and cars that you buy, but this one costing only £100,000 or £650,000. The fun you get with it, it's a bloody good price for the car it is. You can have so much fun in a car like this for so little price. It is a fantastic car, but now it must compete in a strip of speed. Here I am at the start of the drag strip here at the International Airport. Now here I'm going to hammer the Comet down this strip as fast as possible to see where it will end up later once the other 2 have done the same challenge. So in 3, 2, 1, start the clock. Bit slow on the start there, but the acceleration is picking up. Looking at the speedo there, going to a quick speed now, zooming past the aeroplane on the right there, coming down halfway to the drag strip now, second half now, here we go, getting up to increasing speed now, and at 24 seconds across the line. So, the Comet done it in 24.56. and we will be coming back to the Comet later on. But our second car that I'm going to be doing is this, the Inferto Courgette. It's worth £138,000, which is £38,000 more than the Comet 911. But for some reason, it's a tad slower. So why would you buy this, which is £38,000 more? I can tell you why. Because it looks a shit sight better, and it drives like a king. It is amazing. Look at that. This car is perfect. Rear wheel drive again. You can get topless or a roofed version. This is the topless version, which I think looks better. The interior is amazing. It's got a double twin exhaust at the back, which is 2 more exhausts better than the 911. It's red, which I think is a better colour for a car like this, and it is just all round fantastic. It is a lovely car. It's better at drifting. I'm not going to attempt it, because as we found out earlier, I can't drift. Look at that. Every time it fucks up. It is an amazing car, so for £38,000 more, I would be happy to spend to get this car. And you're probably wondering why this one is taking part in the Holy Trinity. It's because in the Holy Trinity of the Grand Tour, James May had a Ferrari. Now this is not a Ferrari, it is in real life a Corvette. But for the price range that I was in, for the budget that I was in for this episode, it is all that I could afford, because the third car is a lot more expensive. So for £38,000 more, just a tad slower than the 911, I would definitely buy this. But we will find out how much slower it is in a little drag strip race challenge. Here I am lined up at the start of the drag strip. Remember the Comet 911 done in 24.56 seconds, but what about this? So 3, 2, 1, go. Remember, this is a tad slower and a tad more expensive, but in this straight sort of race, will it do? Coming past that plane here halfway, onto the second half now, going in an enticing speed now. It is looking slightly quicker than the 911, but will it end up being quicker? And across the line in 25.63. And the third and final car is taking part in our Holy Trinity is this, the Progen T20, worth £2,200,000 from Legendary Motorsport. Now this is taking part in the Holy Trinity because the Progen T20 is based on the fine design of the McLaren P1, which Jeremy drove in the Grand Tour's Holy Trinity. So this lives up to high state. Now this is much faster and much more expensive than the other two cars that we have seen this morning. The other cars spending between 100,000 and 150,000. This spending in the millions. But it's such a fantastic car. But is it as fun? The answer to that is yes. Of course it's fun. But you've got to have 5 mortgages to pay for it and a little pet horse. You've got to be one of these people that lives on a farm and takes out on a Sunday once a year. But yes, it is fun. But I wouldn't want to spend the whole 2.2 million. As you can see, I actually have. So we won't touch on that subject. But it is an amazing car. It's better at everything. It's better at acceleration. It's better at speed. Although the statistics say that the acceleration is much better than the top speed. The top speed not reaching as much as its potential. Drifting good, braking good. The spoiler that goes in and out when you accelerate and brake is a magnificent feature. Now as you can see, the colour of this and the wheels are not standard, but that shouldn't make a difference to the lap time and the time of the drag strip in a little while. Look at the interior, it's amazing, and it is fantastically based on the McLaren P1. I mean, this is probably the holiest of the Holy Trinity here today. But how will it get on that drag strip? Here we go, lined up here at the start of the drag strip. Remember, the 911 Comet done it in 24 seconds, 0.56. The Corvette that we've just seen done it in a 25.63. And this, the fastest and the most expensive of the three. What can it do? So 3, 2, 1. Off you go. The acceleration, as I've said, is much faster. The top speed is much faster. And the cost is much more pricey, and it is more fun to drive. It's better at drifting, it's better at everything. And as you can see now, we're past the halfway line, and now going across the line in 21.94 seconds. That means this is the fastest on the drag strip. Now here I am at our brand new racing track. It's called the Ebola-drome. A very original name. I don't know where I got it from. It just popped into my head. The Ebola-drome. It's a retake on the Ebola-drome from the Grand Tour. Now, I'm just going to do a little drive round this track to show you what is what. So this is the start line of the Ebola-drome, and we come down here on this tarmac road, which I've called the Isn't Straight, plainly because, well, it isn't straight. Down here with the barriers on the left hand side there, we then finish up of the tarmac up here and go on some dirt. As we cross, I've named this well, we cross the bridge. As we've crossed the bridge, we've got a heavy sort of left turn, back onto dirt, down here, a right turn followed by a sharp left turn as we go round the trees. Then here we've got some fences which I've now crashed into, the unexploded bomb. We go round that, if not we won't die. And then we go back up past the trees and then follow the road back round, down the Isn't Straight, past the bridge and back to the start, but there's still a twist. Over the bridge again. Try not to crash there, but sometimes it will happen. Hopefully not with our new driver though. I've spent a lot of money on him. Back onto the tarmac, down the Isn't Straight again. Then up here we've got, I've named this well, bridge number 2. Across bridge number 2, and you see over there in the distance there's a house. We've named this corner Old Lady's House because it's a house and an old lady lives there. She said she used to have a car, so that's why we built the track around her house, because she likes them. Back round Old Lady's House, back round to the second bridge. Once we've passed the second bridge, there we are, across the line. And there is one man going to be spending his whole life on this track. We have called him the Brit. He likes everything British, he likes crumpets, he likes cup of tea, he likes the Queen, he likes buses, and most importantly, he wants a hard Brexit, no offence. So we told him, unlike the American, to keep his mouth shut. But here he is, this is the man going to be spending his life on there, the Brit. Brit lined up here for his first ever lap and is in the Comet. So, in 3, 2, 1, off you go, Britty. Here he goes for the first time. Brit is going down the Isn't Straight. Comet handling quite well through the Isn't Straight, going quite quick. But how will handle when we go off the tarmac. No skidding, just slowing, going over to the first bridge now, jumping a little bit, handling really nicely, drifting around that corner a little bit tail happy as it hits into the barrier, coming down now to past the trees, around the sharp left corner, coming down now to the important one, it's the unexploded bomb. Nice and slow around there, Britty, and back up the tarmac, past the trees, and then down onto the bridge. Skidding quite happily there. Brit is loving this. He's loving the new track. He's loving his new job. Over the bridge for the second time. Down onto the tarmac then for the second time. Down the isn't straight. Coming up to bridge number 2 now, as it's a tight right corner over second bridge. Coming now up to round old lady's house. Hopefully she's not in bed. Sliding into her garage then. Round. Oh, he's crashed through her fence and into her tree. That doesn't matter. He's British. He doesn't care. Back round now to the bridge up here. The second bridge now, and across the line on 1:30, 1:49.56. Brit lined up now for the second lap in the new Corvette. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Off you go, Britty. Fast acceleration off the mark. Remember, this car is slower than the Comet, so surely we should have a slower time. But the Brit is now used to the track after his first lap. Over the first bridge then. Oh, a little skid there. A little skid, and he's done it. He's done it. Will this affect the time? Well, yes, obviously. Coming down now to past the trees. There you go, all lovely and flower. Now we've come to summer. Or are they evergreen? We don't know. Round the unexploded bomb, taking it slow again. Taking it slow. Back up to past some trees. These barriers, whoever put them in, were obviously drunk at the time. Back onto the isn't straight then. Now coming up to the bridge. Over the bridge. And lip-de-doo-dah. Here we go, back onto the tarmac part of the isn't straight, where we can build up some speed again. Here we go, round the corner. He's treating this like a lovely piece of work. Coming up now to second bridge on the tight right corner. Hard on the brakes there, now coming round to old lady's house. Will he crash into the fence this time? Who knows? Hopefully not. No, but he's gone into the garage. Old lady's bike there, because she can't drive anymore because she's got a eye problem. Like most old people, when they're driving, they don't fucking look. Back now. Oh, a little skid there. This car has not shown its true colours on this lap. And now across the line in 1:54.34. The Brit lined up here for his last lap of this episode with the T20, which was the fastest in the drag strip, but the most expensive. So, are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, take it away, Brit. He's off down the isn't straight. Remember, this is the fastest and the most expensive of them all. Round the isn't straight beautifully. This has got the best handling of all cars as well, but how will it handle on the sand? Going over the bridge for the first time, a little bit of a jump there, lovely, handling it well, drifting round that corner. This car is smashing it round. Brit has really got the hang of this road now. Past the trees, lovely. Oh, a little spin there, round the unexploded bomb. Brit taking it a bit quicker this time, is getting used to that corner. Of course, now back past the trees, as always. Off the road a little bit there, but it doesn't matter. Now coming up to the first bridge once again. I think we can already see that this is a quick time. Look at that jump there, handling it so well. Back onto the tarmac isn't straight. This is looking fantastic. Coming now to the second bridge on the tight right corner. Lovely. Over the bridge. Lovely. We can see now Old Lady's house in the distance. Will this be the first lap that Brit hasn't fucked up here? So far, yes. Oh, nearly gone into the sea there. But it doesn't matter because he's out of Old Lady's house pretty damn quick. This is a quick lap. And over the second bridge for the last time, and it is a 1:37.42. Well, that's nearly the episode over here at the Highlands, but I must now tell you, in order of our new lap time board. So, in last place came the Courgette with 1.54.34. And then in second place we've got the Comet 911 with 1 minute 49 seconds .56, meaning the fastest was the T20 with 1 minute 37.42. However, in the actual Grand Tour's Holy Trinity, the Porsche actually won and the McLaren lost. So I have failed you all, and I'm sorry for wasting your time. And on that terrible disappointment, I will see you next week. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.